Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're regular here, you know I review many photographic, audio and video related products. Now today I'm taking a look, well another look actually, at the Panasonic Lumix S9 camera, but I'm particularly looking at the kit lens that is now supplied with it. And well, one of two kit lenses. I actually don't like to think of this lens as a kit lens. I think it's a great lens anyway, and I think it's worth buying independently to the kit. So if you have a Panasonic, say the S5 Mark II or even the original S5, this is a great lens to get. And we're looking at the Panasonic Lumix S 18-40 ultra wide to wide angle lens. Well, really, to be honest, it's ultra wide to almost standard because it's 18-40 and it's a really nice lens. And I'm looking at this lens because I've paired it with my Panasonic Lumix S9. Now I bought this lens separate to the kit lens that was supplied, and the kit lens that was supplied is the rather excellent but rather bulky 20-60 kit lens. Now this is much bigger than conventional kit lenses are. They're normally almost pancake lenses, but this 20-60 is quite a bulky lens, and particularly when you zoom out it does trombone quite a bit, but it's really wide actually at 20mm, which is quite nice for a kit lens, and actually very rare and very unusual. But this one goes 20-60, but I found that was a bit bulky for my Panasonic S9, and to be fair, vast majority of reviewers do find the same thing. Now when the S9 came out, it was kitted with the Panasonic S26mm lens, and everyone detested that lens. They didn't like it one little bit because it was manual focus and it was a fixed, or is a fixed, f8 aperture. They didn't want to hold off the release of the camera until this lens was available. This lens is really compact. It's not quite a pancake lens because it's a full frame body, but it is really compact. It's got weather sealing in the sense that there's a rubber gasket around the actual mount of the lens, so that's great for dust, moisture, light rain. I wouldn't want to take it into a storm. I don't think it'd be very suitable, you know, getting drenched like that. But yeah, it is a great lens, weather sealed to some extent, as I say, because of a gasket, but it's got a nice zoom range. It goes from wide angle, almost ultra wide, but certainly wide angle at the 18mm end, through to 40, which is almost standard. So you could get away with using it as a portrait lens. I wouldn't use it as a portrait lens, A, because it's still not tight enough, and B, the aperture range. It goes from 4.5 to 6.3, so it's not a low light beast, and it isn't really ideal for portraits because of that f4.5 aperture. You would be wanting to look at something like an f1.8, even possibly something like an f1.2, 1.4 to get that lovely separation, that lovely bokeh. This is, I think, designed as a travel lens, as a lens to keep on your camera body. It makes it nice and compact, and you get some great travel photos. It's really sharp, corner to corner. It does soften in the corners a little bit at its widest aperture, but it's no big deal for me anyway. And I find with the full frame sensor, you can still get some great low light images. And the fact this camera body has in-body image stabilization in the body, then that does help with using slow shutter speeds because of the aperture. So if you're going into churches, cathedrals, buildings, whatever, you can slow your shutter speed down to counteract the fact that the lens doesn't open that wide. So yeah, I think it's a great little travel lens. I'm going to show you some of the photographs on my computer here that I've taken out and about with this lens, but I would highly recommend you take a look at them on my Flickr page. You get a much better indication of what this lens is like on my Flickr page rather than studying on this YouTube channel. It's very lightweight, nice and compact, very lightweight. The only switch on it is the autofocus manual focus switch, so there's no need to go diving into menus. You can just flick that switch, manual focus, autofocus, you know, so that is absolutely rather nice. It's got a good zoom ring. Unfortunately, because of this compact design, you've got to, I call it turn it on, but it's got a little white dot, which is the off position, the retracted position. And before you can take a photograph, you've got to be able to turn it to set it ready to 18mm for taking photographs. It does give you a warning on the screen to say, you know, that the lens does need rotating to be able to get it ready for taking photographs. I call it turning the lens on, but you know, I find that's very common with so many manufacturers now. I don't like the concept, I don't like how that works, but you know, it is what it is. But after you get around that, it's a nice lens, nice and compact, nice. The zoom ring is nice actually. Manual focus ring is okay. There's nothing fancy about the manual focus, but it does work, does do the job, and it's, you know, relatively smooth. It's okay. I use this lens in autofocus all the time, so I've not really done much in the way of manual focusing. I tend not to use this camera with manual focus. The autofocus is fantastic on this camera, and the lens autofocus is fantastic as well. I have no issues with the autofocus. As I said, the lens is nice and compact. It only weighs 155 grams, so really lightweight. Throw it in your camera bag or just keep it on the camera body. As I say, I keep it on my Panasonic S9. It looks nice, it's well built, and the image quality is great. So let's take a look at a few of the images I've taken with the S9 and the 18-40 lens. Let's just turn that off. And you'll find they really are nice. Colours pop, colours are really good. You can see there, nice sharp images. I always use this as my sort of test shot for sharpness, and as I say, sensor sharpness, edge sharpness is really good. The raw images that come off this camera are really nice, as well as the JPEGs. You can see here our 18mm, this was shot at 18mm, you can see there 18mm. It just looks really nice, yeah. And again, another one shot at 18mm. Just such a nice lens, and as I said, it's a great travel lens because it is wide angle to almost standard. It acts as a great lens to keep on your camera body when you are going out and about, and that's what I use it for. I think it's really great. It's very lightweight. Everything about it works really well. I'm doing a lot of images in 65:24 aspect ratio at the moment. I'm loving that aspect ratio, and again, this lens is ideal for that aspect ratio that's built into the camera because it's a wide angle lens, so it gives that really nice panoramic look. And depending on the subject, I really do like that look. I think it's a nice look, and I think it really adds to the strength and the impact of the image. It's obviously CinemaScope, so it looks really nice. So yeah, I can highly recommend this lens. If you are looking for a lens for your L mount body, it could be one of the Panasonic bodies, could be a Sigma body, whatever. It is an L mount lens, weather sealed, really nice and compact, and not particularly expensive either, and that makes it again another really good choice as a great wide angle lens. The only downside is its aperture range, is what I see. As I say, 4.5 to 6.3, so you're not going to get any creamy bokehs. Now it does focus really closely, so you can get that depth, and you can get the background out of focus if you're focusing up on something really close. So that's good, but it isn't designed as a portrait lens, isn't designed for great bokeh. But yeah, really nice lens. I really like it. I mean, it's a great combination with the Panasonic S9 and any L mount body that you want to use it on. So there we go. I hope you found that video useful. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Don't forget to take a look at these images on my Flickr page. That would be fantastic. I'll leave a link to that in the description of this video. And remember to share this video if you think other people might find it interesting. Thanks very much. Cheers for now. Bye.